Welcome back to another episode of JH Diesel. You guys know the deal. The giveaway is done, over with. Thank you for everybody that bought merch. Thank you for everybody that participated. And thank you so much to everybody that continues to support us and what we love to do. And we're glad to give you a good product. And we're glad you guys are on board, and we appreciate everything you guys do. So guys, thank you so much to everybody. And in a couple weeks, we'll have a winner chosen. It takes a couple weeks for the law firm to get everything taken care of, get everything, the names in properly, some of the mailed in entries, stuff like that. It takes a little bit. So at least a couple weeks till we get a winner, but give us a few weeks, guys, we'll have a winner. And as you guys can see, I already sent the tailgate out. It's at the body shop because there was a ding in the bottom of it, and then there was a ding in the top of it. I didn't feel comfortable giving that to one of you guys, so it's getting taken care of and addressed as we speak. So tailgate's gone, that's at the body shop, so this thing will be ready to go to its new owner. Now, we're back on one of our most exciting projects, the mud truck. We've been working our butts off on this thing. I've been ordering parts, Justin's been working on it. I've been trying to get everything we need rounded up because there's so many little things. We've got that 80% done, and we're down to that last 20%, and it just takes so long to get that little portion done. All the lines, all the hookups, all the electronics, anything little meticulous stuff we're working on right now. So the goal is in this video is to have this thing fired up and running. I hope that happens. We got the trans cooler. Justin just got that put in. We'll go show you guys the install on that. We've got to get all fluid in axles, get the gears in the transfer case, get fluid in the front axle, get fluid in the transmission, get fluid in the transfer case, if I didn't already say that. We have to get fluid in the motor, some oil in the motor, obviously get the radiator, intercooler, all that stuff installed, get coolant in it, and then plug all the wires in, get our intercooler piping, everything done so we can get this thing fired up and ready to run. I would love to have this thing running by the end of the video, so we're gonna do our best. We have a lot of work to do on this thing. It's not quick, this is gonna be time consuming, so we're taking this whole week and getting this thing hopefully all done and buttoned up. Once we get the engine running, we're waiting on our wheels to get done, and we are waiting on tires. Once I get the wheels and tires back in my possession, then we can get it and figure out, we'll have our shocks on the way, we can get our shocks on it, we got limiting straps, we got a lot of stuff to do underneath. But for now, let's go get to getting this thing fired up and hearing it run, because this is a super exciting day, super exciting episode. I want to hear this thing run by the end. So it's here. You guys know all the stuff. Justin wiped down the cab the other day, got all the dust off of it for the most part, hooked up the power steering lines. Those are temporary, they're not the final lines. We've got different lines being made because we're gonna reroute them a little differently, but to start it and run it for this first time, I'm not stressing that because I need to build those lines after the fact. So we've got that to do, a lot of stuff to hook up under the hood. We've got a dent guy coming out to remove all these little dings and dents in this body. He's gonna come out and remove all those for us and hopefully make this thing look right. Now, climb up in the bed here.
Oh, the whole tire ladder I see.
So as you guys saw in our last Mega Truck episode, the fuel tank is all in and installed. The fuel sending unit is in. I saw a lot of you guys comment about getting a Holley sending unit. There's not really a need. The Ford one is gonna work just fine. The only difference is this tank is so deep. So it's gonna work for about 35 gallons or so. So if it gets down to 0, I know I have about 10 gallons left. If I ever use that much fuel, it's just nice to know it's full. And then, you know, whenever it gets down to a half, I actually know it's about 3/4. It's gonna be about a quarter tank more the whole time than what's actually showing on the gauge. So that's a good thing. I mean, I have no problem with that. But I'll know that in my mind, what it's doing is better than just having it drop to 0 like a lot of trucks do. Here's our trans cooler. Justin just got done installing that. That thing is a beast. So we installed it up and down because when this thing's slinging mud, it is gonna get mud in the bed. So we wanna prevent it from getting as much mud in the fan as we can. I don't know how much is gonna be prevented, but I think some of it will. Big BD diesel transmission cooler installed, double stack cooler. That is their biggest, baddest cooler. So we're gonna have that going on this thing, which should be able to keep our Warn diesel transmission nice and cool. So for now, let's start getting fluid in this thing, get the gears in it, get everything kind of set up. to where we can make this thing about ready to fire up. A lot to work on to do under the hood. Again, like I said, we got a few things to do under there, but let's get working on this thing, get some fluid in it, get some oils in it. Hopefully hear some noise soon. I'm excited. Been a long time coming. I know you guys have been waiting for this. It's been a while. Still got a lot to do after this, but at least it's going to be running and hopefully be able to be driving for the most part. So the engine is coming along. Our little elf in there doing some work. It's almost
Hello.
Christmas time. So belts on it and a lot of little stuff. There's just a lot of little tiny stuff. Like I said, guys, we just got a lot is done, but a lot is still left. Mounting coolant filter, AC lines, AC compressor, or AC compressors on, AC condenser, we got a new one coming. So we're hooking everything up here. We just got the belt on the engine, and then we've got to we're waiting on a radiator. So once the radiator comes in, we can put our intercooler in, our radiator, our fan shroud, our fan, everything of that can go on. And then once that's on, then we can run our intercooler pipes, driver, passenger side, air intake piping, all that stuff can all go on. But for now, we're gonna jump out through the back, start getting fluid in this thing, start getting the gears in the case, and we're gonna start with a 3.2 if I still have that gear set. I want to go with the 3.25, I think is what it is, and we'll start there. So until that's all done, we'll get back to the engine after that. We got us a freshie here. I wonder how much this is gonna take.
Like 5 gallons, I think.
You think it's gonna take all 5?
It's gonna take quite a bit. I think
It's gonna
it
take
takes
a
3
bit.
or 4.
Pumping, and it's cold today.
Oh yeah.
That pump is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
It's stiff. Hopefully this thing doesn't blow off. Hit me in the head.
Oh yeah.
Just coming out though.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, so we're topping this off, getting her filled up. We'll see how much this thing ends up taking. About 3 hours later, we got her full.
Not spill any of this on me or you.
You know I smell like gear lube?
Oh my goodness. Stand this
3
stuff.
hours later. Now, we get to go tap in that beautiful transfer case, SCS box. Alrighty, diff number 2. She full?
Oh, she's full, buddy.
Alright. Should we in this
Stinky, stinky, stinky.
Hold on to her for a minute. I'm gonna open this bucket up. See how much we used. About, maybe half gallon. So all in all, just under 6 gallons is what she used. Give or take 6 gallons, fill your diffs up on one of these. A lot better than 3 quarts, I guess, in a regular pickup. So a very important part of if you're building a mega truck or you're even redoing a mega truck like what we're doing is picking out gear ratios. These transfer cases all offer quick change gear ratios. So you can pop the back cover off, you have an open case there, and from your drive gear at your transmission side down to your drive gear at your drive shaft side, you'll have gear sets that go in between. So there's a big bowl gear on the bottom that drives another gear and another gear. Well, what you do is here's your gear set. So these are what they call quick change gear sets. So that's what's really nice about these SCS boxes and FTI boxes and these transfer cases in these big mud trucks is you can go from a 4-to-1 to a 2-to-1. I mean, it's crazy the gear ranges you can get on them. So what's nice too is SCS has a nice calculator on their website, but if you didn't have the calculator, it's very easy to figure out your gear ratio. So this truck is gonna be running a 66-inch tall tire. Obviously, you can't make the diff gears enough. So my axles right now are gonna be a 644-to-1 ratio. That's the gear ratio that's in the axles, is 644. That's a factory 5-ton military axle gear ratio, 644. So if you do that math, 644, if I had a 1-to-1 transfer case, then it would, basically your ratio is 6.44 to 1.
I can get with
So
that.
what that means is if I'm saying this correctly, 6.44 is going to be how many times the drive shaft spins compared to how much time the output shaft of the transmission spins. So the output shaft is going to come every revolution. The one at the bottom there is going to turn 6 times that. We need more of a gear ratio than that, a final gear ratio, because honestly, just running like a factory transfer case and being able to lock it in 4-low is not enough for these big tires and the weight of everything. We need to go down to like a 3, 3.5, 4-to-1, whatever we need to do. So then you take that 644, multiply it by 4 or 3.5 or 3.25. We used to run at one time in this truck, it actually ran a 3-to-1. Ran really good on a 3-to-1 with a 57-inch tire. When we upgraded the tires to a 66-inch tire, I changed my gear ratio and I went to a 3.5-to-1. I think because of the more horsepower I'm gonna be running this time, I'm probably gonna be another 100, 150 horse. We're gonna try a 3.25-to-1 or 3.3-to-1 is what we're gonna run. So if you have these cases, a lot of times you'll get these gear sets and you'll start collecting them like I did. And this is a 4122. This is a 2439. This is a 3924. Also, because I have 2 sets of 4-to-1s, this is a 3.3-to-1. And this one, I believe, is a 3-to-1 or a 3.5-to-1. I have to do the math. So the way you can do your math is, this is 31 and 33. This is a 31.2, 33.2. So the drive bowl gear of my case is 2.824. So what you would do is you grab your phone. They do have a calculator on the website, but I'll show you how to do it manually so you can figure it out. So what was it, 31, 33? So you take 33 divided by 31, 1.064. Multiply that by 2.824, and that comes out to 3-to-1. So this is a 3-to-1 gear ratio. This one, 2934, it's a different one, so 2934, so you do 34 divided by 29, that's gonna be 1.17, and then multiply that by 2.824, because that's the final drive of the case, 3.310. So I'm gonna start with a 3.31. So I'll probably be exchanging this 3.31. I used to run a 3.5 and 3.3 in it, so I'm either gonna be a 3.3, maybe I'll go down to the 3-to-1, I don't know. We'll find out because horsepower also plays a part in it too. So that's a quick little lesson for you guys on gear ratios and how we do it in these big trucks. So when you think about it, this thing is gonna be 644 times 3.2 or 3.3. So 6.44 times 3.3 is 21.252. So the gear reduction on this truck will be 21.252 is what we're gonna be reducing the gear by the time it gets to the axle before the big large tires are out there. You go so low because you've got the big tires, you've got the big weight, everything's heavier, and you don't do 100 mile an hour in this thing. Top speed of this truck will probably be 45 miles an hour. Maybe even less than that, maybe a little bit more, but that'll pretty much be the top speed. And but in the mud, it's gonna be able to turn those tires in some deep, nasty mud and be able to spin them without breaking stuff, burning transmissions up and things like that. So we'll get our gear set we're gonna put in and start with. Hopefully that's the gear set we get to run. But again, it only takes about 20 minutes to change out these gear sets, maybe even 10 minutes. So if we need to go swap them while we're testing it, we could always do that. So we'll get them thrown in there and one step closer, guys. So now there's your inside of the transfer case. When I ordered this transfer case, I told them do not put gears in it because I already have gears. So now it's pretty simple. We just install our 2 gears, one on the top, one in the middle, and then that's gonna basically go to the bowl gear, and there shouldn't be any issues. I think we might put a little bit of grease on them. What do you think? What kind of grease they got there?
It's just like white lithium grease.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw a little bit of grease on them before we seal this thing up. There's plenty of cake back there. You can throw them on ours. Look at that. Now, which gear goes on top, which gear goes on bottom?
I say we put the smaller gear on top.
Smaller gear should go on top because we're reducing the gear ratio. If we have them flipped around, then that would be basically over. You'd be underdriving it,
Yeah.
is what I think you would describe it as, where we're going to be overdriving it right now. So yes, you want a smaller gear on top.
Does the flange go to the outside? Or
The flange goes to the outside, yep, just like that. Just like so. So we're gonna be running that in here and getting it dialed in. It may be a pain because, oh, no, went right in, cool. Sometimes you got to throw the transmission in neutral. We've been rolling this thing around, and basically the only gear that's been spinning is the bull gear, so we haven't even had to put the transmission in neutral the whole time, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it was kind of handy. That's why we.
Yeah, but it's time. Next time we move it, it's going to be under its own power. It's about that time.
Yeah,
All right, gear set's in. We're going to get this thing bled with fluid, and then get the cover back on it. Have her fired up and ready to go, man. Transfer case is done. Axles are going to be full. Transfer case will be full. Then we get the transmission full, the engine full, and finish assembly of the engine. Now that we're getting everything done down here, let's pop up to the top and see how close we are. So there's a couple fitment issues on a couple small things because we did have some stuff off the earlier model that's obviously going to be transferred to the late model, but it's coming along. The engine is just about there. We've been waiting on a radiator, and the radiator just showed up like 10 minutes ago. We put the stack on it, but the stack is, it's a long story, but that's technically not the correct stack, so I think we're gonna have to change something up there. But the FICM's mounted on it, ECM's all in it. Battery trays are in, we're getting ready to bolt the batteries in it. The radiator just got here, so we're gonna go radiator, fan shroud all on it. And then we got some coolant lines here that are not ran yet, but to start it, I don't know if we're going to worry about the coolant just yet. I just want to hear this thing run. That way we can maybe get the motor, get a little bit of oil in it, get some oil pressure out of it and that kind of stuff. So it is definitely coming along. Still have a lot of work to do, but we're doing the best we can. It's close, very close. Let's freaking go. Might not look like much more, but a lot more has been done. Wiring, batteries, and well, battery.
It always just seems like you're so close, and then you just keep, oh, I got this, oh, I got this, oh, I got this, oh, I got this.
Well, now we've started putting motor oil and transmission fluid in it. So the transmission's got about 12 quarts in it. We're gonna put a little bit more in it, get it ready to fire, and then the engine's gonna get its necessary level. And it's very, 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 very close to hearing this thing bust off. We got to put a tune in it, make sure the computer's tuned properly for the bigger injectors and everything, and then should be hearing this thing bust off any minute. Brother, it's the moment of truth.
Make or break, bud.
So we've got everything full that we need right now. We don't have any coolant in the engine. We're going to get it fired up with no coolant in it. We want to be able to hear it fire. And then we had to wait for the radiator, and there's a lot of other stuff that we're gonna have to reroute some stuff, do some stuff. I said, let's at least hear this thing run, make sure the transmission engages. We don't have brakes, and we don't have coolant. So we're just gonna run it for a minute, make sure this engine fires. It's gonna take a while. If you ever started the 6.0, we did prime all the oil system, but it doesn't matter. It's still gonna take quite a bit. We got the fuel system primed, we got our fast system. It is primed up, but it's still gotta get up to the engine and some other stuff. So it's gonna take a minute. It won't be quick, but let's hopefully we'll be able to get in here and hear some noise out of it. Oh man. Here we go. Let's kick the key on. We got power, baby. And we have injectors clicking. Hear the fuel pump starting to pick up a little bit. Oh, you know what? We can actually look at the fuel pressure on that gauge up there. How much? 70 pounds. 70 pounds. That's good. All right, let's see what it does. Oh my goodness. She is turning over, baby. What do you see? Fuel?
Yeah, it's
a little drippy drip. Get that fixed up in no time. This thing is turning over fast though. Holy crap. Fresh batteries, 6.4 starter. If you ever have a 6-liter and you run into a starter issue, upgrade that starter to a 6.4 starter. It is a way better starter, way faster turning over starter. He said she's ready. Still building low pressure. We did prime it, but it may just take a minute. Come on, baby. Oh, we got low pressure. I'm gonna let the starter cool. We got low pressure. We got low pressure oil. Low pressure's up. Let's go. Oh my God, this is insane, guys. We got this freaking thing about, oh, I hope it fires. We have RPM. We have low pressure. Everything seems to be working. Actually, I screwed up. I didn't put my data log up, so I'm gonna run my data log now. And that way we can see what ICP's building and stuff. All right, let's see what it's doing. Looks like we actually have 87 pounds ICP already. All right, we're gonna go round 2, okay? Let's go. Let's go, dude. Oh my God, let's go. She's running, baby, running. Hey, I just thought of something.
What?
You pulled the tape off the turbo?
Yes.
That's good. All right, I'll restart it. Oh, dude. One step closer. Oh my God. Oh, it's running good too. No major leaks yet. Everything's pretty solid. Let's go, dude. Oh my God. I'm so freaking excited. So freaking excited. Everything seems to be good. It does not have brake fluid in it, and it does not have, we didn't hit the fuel gauge up yet. Fuel gauge is in the tank, we just didn't hook it up yet. But, oh, lights work in here? Not bad. We didn't know. I've never had power in this cab or anything. Oh no, no way. Oh, I thought it was about that. Oh, it's turning the wheels. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Yes. Years in the making. Years. Sounds good too. Oh, she moves. She moves. That is a huge step forward. So excited. Let's go. I'm about to feel it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't let it run too long. That's a big, big step forward. So, guys, this is probably a shorter video. I haven't even started editing this thing yet, but Justin's been really hustling on this thing all week so we can hear this thing fire up. Huge step in the right direction. Again, as I said multiple times in this video, we still have a long way to go. This last 10 to 20% will just eat your time up. But we're doing the best that we can. I mean, this week, we ordered a radiator on Monday because I just didn't realize that we needed one. That was on me. And it took 4 days to get it. We were supposed to be here Tuesday. So that literally held so much up for us. You wouldn't realize it, but trying to assemble this thing, we wanted to have the radiator in it. We wanted to have all the intercooler pipes on it. We wanted everything to be hooked up so when we run all our new lines for our power steering, because we had to change power steering lines for the hydraulic steering, new coolant lines because it's got the external oil cooler and stuff. That oil cooler was actually on the burnout truck. There was no air conditioning on the burnout truck. It was missing a bunch of stuff. This one, way different. So there's just a lot of little stuff that is nitpicking us for time on this thing. So that's why it's kind of difficult to make videos on it and make them entertaining for you guys, because I don't want to make shit content. I want good content. I want good videos. We are trying the best that we can. So we appreciate all you guys supporting us, for real. You guys have no idea. We get to do what we love, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So just so you know, though, that's what we've been trying to do. So working on this truck, and I know we've drug it out for so long, but there's so many little things on this project. I can't just dedicate, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks to this thing, because like right now, I ordered wheels over a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. Got the wheels in, but now these wheels, they have to be built. So now somebody has to cut my centers out. I couldn't cut the centers until the wheels were here to measure the wheels to see where they went, where the centers would have to go, our gussets. Everything has to be custom made as far as that goes. So I know I get some people that are like, there's no way you're waiting on all this stuff. There's no way you're taking this long. It truly is a long process. We wanted to build this thing basically from the ground up. We used the original frame, the original axles. I mean, pretty much everything else is brand new. Engine, transmission, transfer case. I mean, we went through the whole thing to make this thing right. So when it's done, it's 110% and it's done correctly. We did not want to half-ass this thing. But huge step today, huge move in the right direction. Everything in the cab seems to be working. All the gauges, everything. I'm going to kick the lights on, make sure they work. Everything seems to be working. So still got a long way to go. But again, guys, thank you so much for being here for us. Thank you so much for watching, because it is awesome. And it's just such a relief. That thing runs great. And I knew they would. Huge shout out to everybody a part of this project. Kill Devil Diesel for the engine, Warren Diesel for the fueling and helping us out with the air system on it. We've got they sold us the turbo. They didn't build it, but it's one of their 366s they sell. Their injectors, Warren Diesel trans. We've got the fast fuel system on it, BD Diesel tap shifter, BD Diesel trans cooler. We got BD Diesel manifolds on the engine. So huge shout out to those guys. Anybody else that's been a part of it. Mike's Custom Coatings with the powder coat. He's done every bit of powder coat on this thing, and he's not done yet. We still have stuff at the powder coater right now getting done. So huge shout out to everybody on board with this project that's helped us so much. Brian over R&D Concepts, he's making us a bunch of billet stuff to go on this thing. It's gonna look really good. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anybody, because we've had a lot of Power Hungry Performance, Fickham Tuning. Those guys are helping us out with a lot of other stuff. They want to be a part of all the projects that we do for the Fords. I mean, they're big Ford guys, so huge shout out to them. It's been a long time coming, and I'm really happy with everybody that's helped, and just appreciative of everybody. So we're going to keep going on this thing. We're going to make sure the lights work, and might as well make sure some other stuff. We might fire it up one more time just to hear it. And other than that, we're getting there. This is freaking awesome.
Well, I can tell you the headlights aren't going to work because I don't think there's any headlights in it.
Oh, do you not have bulbs in it?
There ain't no bulbs.
No, there's marker lights.
The marker lights work. I know that.
I want to see if the cluster lights work.
No, but the hazards work because the hazards were on when I started it. Or when I plugged the batteries on. Yeah, the hazards all work.
Okay.
All your marker lights on your mirrors, everything. So it might be that headlight switch. And it may be something may not be plugged in still on these, on the headlight part of it.
Oh, you know what?
Because I got, there's still a couple wires. Is it not plugged in?
No, it wasn't plugged in, but I remembered you had
because I was going to replace that piece. That's right. So probably never.
Bezel. There we go. Starting to do something now.
Yep. Yep, they all work now.
Headlight bulbs in there, right?
No headlight bulbs.
All the gauges are working. All the interior lights are working.
This mirror's not working, so I'll have to see why.
No?
No, that mirror's not working. This mirror on this side is, but that mirror's not. Maybe I'll pull the panel off. Maybe the plug's not plugged in good or something.
Everything in here is working
Cool.
Like I said, all the gauge lights all work. Everything's coming on. Looks really good. Hell yeah, guys. And we have a new dash bezel. If you guys saw, that thing was all busted up. I got a parts truck that we're gonna go yank one out of. So I do have a fresh dash bezel for it. But it's coming along, man. Everything seems to be working. I'm gonna fire it up one more time, and then we gotta get back to working on it because we gotta finish it. Radiator, intercooler, all the oil lines, all that stuff. We gotta route everything properly. We are doing different power steering lines on it too. Those are just to get it fired up. The steering was working, which is a plus. So that means that we have, the pump is pumping. It may be low on fluid now because we just turned it on and stuff. So, but we have new lines going for that. We got a lot of little stuff that we got to finish up. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching the JH channel. We will see you next time.